Today, June 28th, we're going to be going to the chart to look at how we got the trade for the week and also previous entries, probably from previous week. Now, today, June 28th, we started from this zone to this zone, which is our main focus for the last week. Okay, for me to show you the entries I got, I need to take you back to previous week. First of all, I'm going to take out all my drawings. So all my drawings have been taken out. Now, for those of you who are finding it hard to know how I get my entries, I basically study the market structure and I study candlestick patterns. I mainly focus my time on candlestick patterns because the candlesticks tell you the movement of the day, of the week, and then of the month and of the year, and also can tell you what took place in minutes and in seconds. So I basically study candlestick patterns to know my next movement and to know my entries. So I move down from higher time frame to lower time frame. I'm not going to be going into the higher time frame right now. I'm just going to go straight into this week, what happened this week, how we got our entries, and what we're expecting in the weeks to come. So we have this particular place. I want to mark this zone blue, and then this is tomorrow. I will also mark the zone blue. So in the other videos, I gave the entry from this breaker block, which we got from this zone, It's not actually that time frame. We got that breaker block from a weekly time frame. You can see it right here. We got it from a weekly time frame. That was how we got the breaker block, and I told you guys to sell from the zone. Now we go into the daily time frame. So after this entry from this breaker block, so this was an entry from the previous week. Now, the week we are currently in now, there was also another entry at this zone. There was an entry at that zone. That place was a reversal point to me based on the candlestick movement at this point. This particular candlestick, bullish candlestick, closed above this bearish candlestick, and then the next candlestick closes below it, which happens to make here a change of character and then another change of character. So here will become my reversal point, which many people call QMR. So I don't need to go down to the line charts most times because I'm already good with the chart. So I just get the entry just by looking at the chart. We are in a downtrend, and then there's a push up above the candlestick, which is a change of character, and then there was a sweep above the high. There was a sweep here. Okay, so let me zoom in so you can see. There was a sweep here. And then we close below the candle. So that is already another change of character, which is double change of character. The entry should be your first change of character. So this entry is something like this. So this is the entry. Okay, so this was how I got the entry for this previous week. This was how I got the entry for this week. So this is the first entry for the week. Target the main low, and TP was hit. That is a 1:7. Yes, that is a 1:7 arrow TP. And then when we're selling down, I also gave this re-entry at this point. because we're having a break at this point. So we're supposed to have this zone supposed to be a valid order block to us, but there was a break below that zone. There was a break below that zone, and break without no reaction. That will give me a valid breaker block, and that was the entry. The entry I gave was from this zone. Here. So go and check the video. Was from that zone. And I said the reason why I didn't take the buy again, because the daily candle, this particular bullish daily candle, this failed to close above this previous daily candle. So that was one of the major reasons why I said the buy was invalid, that we should continue looking for sell. So that was why I gave this particular entry here, because if you go lower time frame, you're going to see that here was a protected low. This particular place is a protected low that was taken out without no reaction. When I say no reaction, it means probably price moving down to this zone and then push up. So this is a reaction. But now you can see that there is no reaction here. Price just took out the low. Price will need to come back to that zone as a breaker now and then sell off. You get me? So that is how I normally get my breaker block. Not every point is a breaker block, so know when to get a breaker block entry. So we have this entry, which I also dropped from the last video, targeting the May low also, and then the stop loss was another point, which was 5 RR. This trade was also dropped in the YouTube community. Then this was the next entry. I didn't get this entry on time because I never expected Bitcoin to sell from this zone. I was expecting Bitcoin to sell from this particular zone. I was expecting Bitcoin to sell from that zone, but fortunately Bitcoin sold from this zone. So that entry, I didn't get that entry. So we'll move forward. And I saw some people who also took this entry to this low. Bitcoin gave three good entry in the beginning of the week. First, second, third, 3 good entries. You can see now we're still in the week, and most people might have been buying from these zones. Okay, there is an entry there. I think I saw a particular entry there. Yes, so this was the entry on the 1 hour time frame, this particular zone. If you go to the line chart, you see it's a support zone. Okay, this a V-shape, this low becomes a support zone. Okay, and this V-shape have a break at the top that caused the low, so here becomes a buy zone. So some persons took this trade, but I didn't take the trade because I was not active. That was a Warishonai arrow for those people who trade that concept. But now on a daily time frame, I'm seeing a sell to continue the move. I'm seeing a sell. I'm going to take this off. So where am I seeing the sell? I'm seeing the sell at this point. I'm seeing a sweep of this high Okay, a sweep of that high, and then the low needs to be taken out. And then for us to have this candle range to be valid, we need a valid key level, and I can see a valid key level at this point. Sorry. I can see a valid key level at that point, so that is mostly why. So that was why I took this sell. This is a valid key level to me. This is a valid key level to me. Key level to me. Now, if we're having 1 day, our entry should be probably from 1 hour, 2 hours, because it's a daily CRT. So my entry was from this zone. My entry was from that zone, which I took. So we're expecting price to take out this low. So we're expecting price to take out this low. Now the price is already moving. I'm expecting more sell. I'm seeing another entry from the 2 hour zone. So this is what I call continuation. And the 3 hour zone, there's a break of structure at this point. And there's a change of character at this point. So my entry is going to be on the first change of character, which they call this QMC, consumer control continuation. But now we can see that in the 3 hours time frame, there is a sweep at this low. And then this high becomes a liquidity. Can you see? So it's going to buy to take out this high before selling. If you go to the 30 minutes time frame, you're going to see that we have a support zone at this point. We have a support zone at that point which have been tapped. So the support zone is what is actually pushing price up now. Can you see? So this particular trade is valid now. This little buy trade is valid to me. It's valid to me. The low and the high, it all met the criteria for me to take this trade. Okay, for me to take this trade. So I'm going to be taking this trade. I take that trade at that point if it's going to come back to that point. So this is just like a scalping trade. 1/5 scalping Bitcoin to the sell entry while I will be selling at this point. So basically the analysis and the breakdown for the week, how we got the entries. So you can see I study candle very well before taking my entries. I don't wait for confirmation. Once I have my entries, I just place my limit there and then we are good to go. So as a trader, check if what I'm doing is correct. Tell me in the comment section. And if it's the first time you're following this channel, make sure you subscribe, like, and follow. See you in the next video. Thank you very much. Love you.